Welcome to Serving Up MyPlate, a yummy curriculum webinar that takes us on an exciting educational journey through the world of nutrition and health. This webinar is intended for 3rd and 4th grade teachers and instructors who will be using the Serving Up MyPlate curriculum. There are more curriculums that are developed for different age groups, such as the Discover MyPlate curriculum for kindergarten, a Serving Up MyPlate level for 1st and 2nd graders, and a Serving Up MyPlate level for 5th and 6th graders. Please visit the Nebraska Team Nutrition website to access the rest of these curriculums. This webinar will provide you with more information about what all is included in this curriculum packet. To find more information or additional tools as it relates to this curriculum, you can go to the Team Nutrition website at teamnutrition.usda.gov. As you all know, on July 29, 2016, the USDA Food and Nutrition Service, FNS, finalized regulations to create a framework and guidelines for written wellness policies established by local educational agencies, or LEAs. The final rule requires LEAs to begin developing a revised local school wellness policy during the school year 2016-2017. LEAs must fully comply with the requirements of this final rule by June 30th of 2017. The new regulations require districts to include the following elements: public involvement, nutrition guidelines, nutrition education, nutrition promotion, public notification, physical activity and education, and monitoring and evaluation. Schools are encouraged to provide nutrition education that emphasizes the appealing aspects of healthy eating, or what you can eat to help promote a healthy lifestyle. Schools are also encouraged to provide nutrition education and engage in nutrition promotion that is designed to provide students with the knowledge and skills necessary to promote and protect their health. Schools are encouraged to provide nutrition education as part of not only health education classes, but also integrated into other classroom instruction through subjects such as math, science, language arts, social sciences, and elective subjects. Team Nutrition has responded to this requirement and developed a collection of classroom materials that helps elementary school teachers integrate nutrition into these subject areas. Team Nutrition is an initiative of the U.S. Department of Agriculture that provides free nutrition education and promotion materials to schools that participate in child nutrition programs such as the National School Lunch Program. If you haven't done so already, check out USDA's Team Nutrition Resource Library to find evidence-based curricula that can be incorporated into core subjects. These curricula are ready to go, include pacing information, and have been focus group tested. There are also many more colorful and exciting nutrition promotion resources that are available to you. These include attractive posters and a booklet of ideas for healthy event planning and healthy fundraisers. Most amazingly, these resources are available completely free. You can access and download the online versions or order and print copies that will be shipped directly to you via the Team Nutrition website. This yummy curriculum introduces the importance of eating from all 5 food groups using the new MyPlate icon and a variety of hands-on activities. Students will also learn the importance of physical activity to staying healthy. In this teacher's guide, you will find 3 inquiry-driven lessons that help 3rd and 4th grade children discover nutrition, explain their understandings, and reflect upon their experiences, all of which encourage a lasting awareness of what it means to be healthy. In addition to subject-driven learning, each lesson also offers valuable and easy-to-implement cafeteria activities and home connections. We encourage you to include these in your planning, as they will provide your students with further practice and real-world experiences. Let parents know what their children will be learning about in class so they can support these new skills at home. To start off today's webinar, we will talk a little bit about the various learning opportunities and materials available to teachers and staff through the Serving Up MyPlate curriculum packet. We will highlight the various materials and resources contained in the curriculum outline, the actual lessons themselves, and the various Common Core standards met by this curriculum. Finally, we will go into how to order your own free curriculum and dive into the fun. The Serving Up MyPlate curriculum comes in the form of a kit with multiple resources to support each lesson. This slide shows the kit in its entirety and all of the materials that are included. This includes a teacher's guide that lays out each lesson and explains exactly which materials to use for each. The teacher's guide also includes a pacing guide to help teachers plan the time required per activity, extra helpings or ideas on how to extend the learning beyond the lesson. Savor the Learning, which offers valuable ways to connect the learning to the school cafeteria and/or students' homes to provide real-world practice. And finally, Student Handouts, which are easily reproducible handouts designed to appeal to students while reinforcing lesson objectives. There are also 3 original songs to help enhance the lessons. Alive with the 5 food groups and Do Be help students learn about healthy choices in an engaging and memorable way. Dancing and singing along to an additional song called Do Your Body Right may be a fun extension activity in the 3rd lesson. The Eat Smart to Play Hard with MyPlate poster is a 2-sided poster showing the MyPlate food icon and foods in the 5 food groups. The blank MyPlate on the reverse side of this poster can be used as a tool to assess students' understanding of the concepts of MyPlate and how they should be filling their plate at meals. And finally, the MyPlate at Home is a colorful handout to share with parents that reinforces the lesson at home. It is also available in Spanish. The first course, We Are What We Eat, teaches students how to make choices that will help them stay healthy. Through this lesson, students will be able to do the following: identify the 5 main food groups and name a variety of nutritious examples of foods in each group. Explain how MyPlate serves as a reminder for how to eat a healthier meal. Create and describe a healthy meal containing a food from each of the 5 food groups. And finally, discuss the importance of physical activity as part of a healthy lifestyle. The first handout in Lesson 1 is called the Who Am I clue card. This is a fun and interactive activity that encourages students to step out of their comfort zones and talk and problem solve with their peers. This activity is like the game of 20 questions, but instead it is just 10 questions. To complete this activity, each student will pick a food card that has been pre-prepared by the teacher. They will pair up with peers from their class and work on asking questions to guess the food that their partner has. Each student will also have a handout to keep track of the questions that they have asked. Teachers can have students spend a few minutes quietly thinking of yes or no questions they can ask and write them down on their handout. Here are some examples of questions that teachers can read to students to help get them started. Am I a vegetable? Am I a protein food? Am I round? Am I green? Am I made from wheat? Do I grow on a tree? Do I live in the sea? Do I taste spicy? Am I juicy? Am I a drink? Do I have seeds? Do I sound crunchy when you eat me? Do you eat me for breakfast? Students can use these questions, but it's also good to encourage them to come up with their own. This handout will expand students' awareness and vocabulary of the different foods in each food group. The second handout, Food Writer, is an activity also in the first lesson. This activity allows students the opportunity to showcase their writing skills. For this activity, teachers will explain to students that they have been hired by a food magazine to write a 1 to 2 page article about a new food. Students can choose what food they want to write about, but must follow the instructions on how to write the article. Students will have to do some research on how to write a food article and to learn more about the food itself. Teachers might want to have their students look at examples of food articles before the students start writing their own. And they should encourage students to use new vocabulary and descriptive words to describe their food. Included in your curriculum kits are explanations of standards that are met through these fun courses. For the first course, you will see that some of the standards that are met through this lesson include English Language Arts, Science, and Health. This chart provided gives specific information about the standards that are met in each category. The second course, You Be the Chef, helps students to become knowledgeable on the importance of eating a variety of foods from all of the 5 food groups. The learning objectives for this lesson include: students will be able to identify what foods to eat more of and explain that nutrients of food will help us grow and stay healthy. Name at least 3 reasons why it is important to eat foods from all 5 of the food groups. And to apply their knowledge of healthy foods and food groups to create a healthy meal or snack. Snack of Champions is the first activity of this course. This activity allows students to learn what a healthy snack actually is. For this activity, students will imagine that they are all professional chefs. Their challenge is to create a fun and healthy snack of champions for members of the U.S. Olympic team. They will have to create a recipe for a snack that will not only be healthy and nutritious, but will taste good too. This activity is meant to be done in groups. Each group or team will have to come up with a snack, a name for the snack, and they must be able to explain why they chose the ingredients that they did. This is a great activity to spark creativity in students, and it is a chance for them to work as a team. The next activity included in this lesson is measuring up MyPlate. This activity focuses on portion sizes and learning how to make a healthy meal plan. For this activity, students will have to help Lucia, the cartoon girl featured on this handout, eat smart and play hard. On the handout, students will have to circle foods that they feel would be good choices for her to eat for one day. On a separate piece of paper, students will have to then write a menu for her meals and snacks using the foods that they circled. On the handout, there are certain amounts of foods from each of the 5 food groups, so the student's goal is to make sure she gets the right portions of food that she needs. Students will have to use critical thinking to figure out how to come up with a meal plan that will meet all of Lucia's needs. This is a great way for students to practice good food choices and what a real-life example looks like. The chart shown here highlights the standards that are met from the second course, which include English Language Arts, Health, Science, and Math. The third course is called The Science of Sometimes Foods. Through this lesson, students will gain an understanding of what sometimes foods are. They will learn why they are called sometimes foods and good alternatives to eat instead of those foods. The learning objectives for this course are as follows. Students will be able to identify foods that are high in solid fats and added sugars, describe the benefits of limiting the consumption of solid fats and added sugars, explain the concept of eating in moderation, and finally give examples of healthier food options to choose instead. The activities in this lesson are a little different than the ones in the previous lessons because these activities are actually science experiments. There's one science experiment that has to do with fats and another one that has to do with added sugars. For these experiments, students will use the scientific method to answer questions. For each experiment, they will write the name of the food or beverage in the correct box, make a hypothesis and/or educated guess answering each question, conduct the experiment and write down observations carefully, analyze the results of the experiment and answer the original question, comparing the results to their hypothesis, and finally complete the reflection questions. For the first experiment, students will be making a hypothesis about which foods they think contain the most fat. After they have made their educated guesses, students will test the different foods' fat content by rubbing them on a piece of paper and letting them sit overnight. Students will want to ensure that they rub each food for the same amount of time to control the experiment properly. The next day, students will check the results of the fat on the paper and talk about the results that they have found. Teachers will want to prompt students in what they have observed by asking questions like, what foods left a grease, fat, or oil spot? Which foods have the highest fat content? Which foods have the lowest amount of fat? How does this compare to your predictions? The second experiment has to do with added sugars in drinks. For this experiment, there are some materials that will need to be gathered beforehand, including a 12-ounce can of soda, an 8-ounce carton of fat-free chocolate milk, a cup of 100% orange juice, 1 cup of lemonade, and 1 cup of water. Teachers will also want to make cards for each beverage to indicate how many grams of added sugars are in each. For this experiment, teachers will display all the beverages on the table for students to see, with the corresponding sugar content cards facing down next to them so that students can't see how many grams of added sugars are in each beverage. Students will be working to answer the question, which beverage has the most teaspoons of added sugar, by looking at all of the beverages and making their predictions. Once students have made their predictions, the cards with the grams of added sugar can be flipped over so the students can see the results. Students will write down all of the grams of added sugars in each beverage on their handouts, and then they will convert the grams of sugar into teaspoons of sugar to calculate how many teaspoons of added sugar are in each beverage using the formula 1 teaspoon of added sugar equals 4 grams of added sugar. After students have completed their calculations, Teachers will display the amount of teaspoons in each beverage by measuring out each teaspoon and pouring it into a dish next to the beverage. After this, allow students to make their analysis and conclusion of the experiment on their handouts. When everyone has formulated a conclusion, talk about what they came up with. To spark discussion, ask questions like, did the results of the experiment surprise you? Were your predictions right? This is a great time to talk about healthier beverage choices and to talk about water and how much of it we need every day to be healthy. The third course meets the same standards as the second course, including English Language Arts, Science, Health, and Math. As you saw mentioned in the curriculum components, there is a CD with songs that go along with each of the lessons to help the students remember what they have learned. Shown here is the first song and lyrics that are included on the CD. You can use this song as a fun tool for students to learn and remember the 5 food groups. Doobie is another fun and upbeat song to get kids excited about nutrients and how they help us do physical activities. You will notice at the bottom of these screens that there is a link leading to the songs. This, in addition to the CD, is just another way that you are able to access and use these songs throughout the curriculum. The third and final song in Serving Up My Plate is Do Your Body Right, and is a song to get kids excited about being healthy and making smart food choices. On this slide, you will notice the Eat Smart to Play Hard poster that we referred to earlier when we were talking about the kit components. This is a fun and colorful poster that can be used as a visual aid to help spur more MyPlate discussion or serve as a reminder to students about the 5 food groups and what foods belong where. This is the back side of the Eat Smart to Play Hard poster. As discussed earlier, this side of the poster can be used to assess students' understanding of MyPlate by having them fill in foods that fall into each of the 5 food groups. The MyPlate at Home handout is a great resource for parents. Not only does it allow for parents to get an idea of what their children are going to be learning in school, but it is also a great reminder for them to eat balanced meals, and maybe some parents don't know about MyPlate, so it can also serve as a learning tool for them. On the front page of the handout, you see that there is a small letter to parents. In the letter, it also lists all the standards that are met through this unit, which parents usually appreciate seeing. It is a great encouragement for parents to be talking to their students about what they are learning in school and how they can apply it to their everyday lives. There is also a Spanish version of the parent handout available. This slide shows the inside of the MyPlate at Home handout. For parents that may have no idea what MyPlate is and might only remember the food pyramid, this can serve as a good resource for them to learn about what MyPlate is all about. It talks about healthier food choices for dinner and how they can be made in easy, simple ways. This is also a good layout for parents to see what a balanced meal looks like, as you can see the breakdown of each meal. There are also tips for families who have school-aged children. 3 tips that are highlighted in this part of the handout are: make half your plate fruits and vegetables, start every day the whole grain way, and milk matters. These are great tips for parents to start thinking about why and what they are feeding their kids and how they can help them grow stronger and learn better by feeding them well-balanced meals. This slide shows the back page of the MyPlate at Home handout. It is another reminder of how parents can help their children be healthy. Its focus is on physical activity and talks about how kids need at least 60 minutes of physical activity each day. Parents can encourage their children to be physically active by playing outside or going for a bike ride. And it talks about how parents can also become involved in the physical activity and be good role models for their students. Also included on the back page of this handout is the Sip Smarter section, helping parents and students to remember to drink water instead of loading up on sugary drinks. Now that we have covered the curriculum and what is all included in the kit, we will talk a little bit about how to order the curriculum for yourself. Team Nutrition print materials are available for free only to schools and child care centers that participate in the federal child nutrition programs. All others are welcome to download the materials from our website at teamnutrition.usca.gov. If for some reason you cannot find an item on the order form, it is probably temporarily out of stock. Please continue to check back often for its availability. To inquire about bulk orders, please send an email to teamnutrition@fns.usda.gov. To view or order available materials, go to teamnutrition.usda.gov. The page that will open should look similar to the page that you see on your screen. From here, you can access a wide variety of resources and curriculums that Team Nutrition has available for educators to use. You will see that we are on the Serving Up MyPlate Nutrition Education page. On this page, you will be able to find all the resources included within this curriculum. You will notice that there are two red circles, both indicating the resource order form. If you click on either one of these tabs, it will take you to the order form where you are able to order any of the materials from the Serving Up MyPlate curriculum. Please note that if you need something immediately or choose to download and print your own materials, this is also the page that will allow you to do so. If you click on any of the blue words on this page, it will open up a PDF of the document that you are able to download and print. Once you have clicked on the Resource Order Form tab, it will take you to the page shown here. Notice the red circle is now indicating where you can type in the curriculum that you are interested in ordering. Once you have typed in the curriculum name, you can hit the search button and it will come up with all of the materials associated with that name. Once you have searched for the curriculum that you are interested in, you can select each component that you would like to order. As you can see here, I have selected the teacher's kit. You will notice in the bottom red circle that I have entered the quantity that I would like and selected to add it to my cart. If you now look at the top red circle, you will notice that after doing this, I now have one item in my cart. Since this is all I want to order today, I'm going to click on Checkout, which is located in the same upper red circle. Once Checkout has been selected, you will see a screen like this. Notice the upper red circle indicates that it will take 2 to 4 weeks for materials to arrive. On this screen, all you need to do is simply fill out your mailing information and click Submit Order and wait for your materials to arrive. Thank you for viewing the Team Nutrition Serving Up MyPlate training webinar. Should you require more information or additional resources, please visit teamnutrition.usda.gov. Additional materials and curriculum packets can be downloaded and printed or requested from this website.